What's up, guys? My name is Hannah Aleene, and today I'm going to tell you guys a bunch of things that I thought were luxuries as a kid, but now that I'm an adult, I'm like, that sometimes are still luxuries because I'm broke, but aren't really that much of a luxury now. I was born in 1997, so I was raised in the early 2000s, but like I'm still a 90s baby, so I still have like things that are a little bit different than the kids now. So let me tell you guys. One of the things I did think was luxuries as a kid was if we were able to get an appetizer and a dessert. And if you throw a soda on top of that there, like, oh, we are like eating like kings, lap of luxury. Because there were 5 of us, my parents and my 2 other siblings and me. So shit gets pricey at 5. So if we were able to get a soda, even that I was lucky and happy about. The only person who was able to get a soda was my dad. Everybody else got a water. I was like, I want a root beer. And they said, fuck you, ho. No, they did not. They did not. But if you throw soda, appetizer, and a dessert in there, like I said, eating like kings. On the topic of eating, if we were eating at like an Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Applebee's, Chili's, any of that shit, oh my god, I ate it up. I thought it was a fine dining establishment, okay? I was like, I'm going there in my sweatpants. No, ma'am. I'm going there in my best dress. I gotta look good for the Applebee's waiter. Me at fucking 7 years old. We all thought those sit-down chain restaurants like those all over the country, we thought those were fancy as hell. Now I'm like an adult and I'm like, damn, let me go to Applebee's and get that $5 margarita. On the topic of food still, I loved a Lunchable. I loved a Capri Sun. But now that I'm looking back at like Lunchable and Capri Sun prices, even like a kid's cuisine, I'm like, why was this shit so expensive? I swear to God, bitches, like, hike up the prices for kids stuff more. I swear to God they do. But like, it is so expensive now. Like, sometimes I want to get a little Lunchable because sometimes eating is hard and all I want is a little bit of crackers and, you know, my chip. No, not my chip. Like a little dessert and whatever. And it's like $4. I'm like, are you joking me? And still on the topic of food, if we were able to get a McDonald's breakfast, oh my god, I was like, oh, we're eating like the rich people do. Like, I loved a McDonald's breakfast. We would usually get McDonald's breakfast on the way to the beach in the mornings because my mom is not a conventional normal mom. My dad would have weird hours and he would work the night shift and he would have like a schedule that would give us time to like vacation with him a bunch. So when my dad got a day off, we skipped school and went to the beach and it was fun. I loved doing that. We would always get McDonald's breakfast and then go to the beach and have a little picnic while my dad surfs. Loved living that life. And by the way, if you're wondering, my dad, I mean, he was mostly like a baker, cake decorator, so many different things around baking and cake decorating. But, you know, we also had a bakery when I was a kid, and I thought that was fucking so cool. I miss that bakery. Okay, let's move into like the house and living kind of category, because I have like a list of like a bunch of different categories. The number one thing I think we all thought as a kid was like, oh my god, rich people live here, is like if y'all had a staircase, oh my god, doesn't matter what kind, doesn't matter if it was like not carpeted or whatever, if you had a staircase, you were like the 1%. Like, you were the 1%. Eat the rich. No, but literally like, oh, that's a cute little puppy. Is that a kitty cat? I am so sorry, guys. I am so ADHD, and this girl is like holding her cat while she's walking her dog. Oh, that is so cute. Another thing that I thought was like the lap of luxury growing up was if you had, do you guys know in the early 2000s, those like neon bright little like room designs, if you had those cool ass room designs with shapes and bright ass colors everywhere, and like, or you had like a French theme, or you had like a themed room to begin with, you were rich as fuck. You had money in the bank. Okay, like I had like hand-me-down blankets. Like, we had good blankets, mind you. I loved the blankets I had. But damn, if you had a themed room and your own room, you have money. Because I had to share a room with my sister up until maybe my junior year of high school. Up until, like, I was crazy. And my sister was 2 years younger. So she was a freshman, I was a junior. And we've had to share a room since then. Craziness. Even at one point, we had to share a room with my brother because we had a 2-bedroom. Life is crazy. And at one point, we did share a room with my mom instead because my parents they don't like to sleep together. So they're divorced now. Clocked. And another thing, if you had like a walk-in closet, oh my God, you were rich. Rich, rich, rich. My goodness. One thing that always was like, oh my God, I wish I had. But like, I don't think this was because everybody else was rich and I was a brokey, was having a cell phone. I didn't get my first cell phone until I think my freshman year of high school, since 2012. I had one of those little, I think my first one, I did have like a tiny little one. You could like, you do the AA, you press the number for a different bunch of, for different letters. I had that one for a few months. And then after that, I got like a little like Android touchscreen. And then finally, I think my sophomore year, I got an iPhone. Oh, but I also did have an iPod Touch, like the end of my 8th grade year. And oh my God, all the popular girls wanted to talk to me because I had an iPod Touch, but they also didn't really like me any other way besides me having an iPod Touch. They would take selfies all the time on my iPod Touch, and I was like, you mad? You mad you don't have an iPod Touch and you're Miss Cheerleader, you're Miss Dance Team, and you don't have an iPod Touch, but me, brokey, me, uggo fatty does? If you had like a little Game Boy, I was so jealous of you. I wanted a Game Boy so bad, but the only time I ever got to play games was on my brother's. I think he had like, one point he had a PlayStation, one point he had like a Nintendo something, and at one point he had an Xbox. Like he had a bunch of different things. He had like, and he had that cube, he had a GameCube. Oh, I fucking loved his stuff. But I wanted, whoa, what are those called? A Nintendo DS. I wanted a DS so bad and never had one. I would always play at my friend's house just to play their DS. And I always wanted a Game Boy. In 2nd grade, I wanted a Game Boy so fucking bad. I even stole one of my friend's Game Boys, and she lived in the neighborhood. And I was hanging out with her at her place, and I was like looking at her Game Boy. I'm like, that shit's so fucking sick. And then my mom's like, let's go, girls. We gotta go to dinner because me and my sister were at her house. And then I like sneak her Game Boy in my pocket, and I go downstairs, and right before we were about to leave to dinner, her mom came down. She's like, did Hannah accidentally put my daughter's Game Boy in her pocket? I was like, oh. She was never mad at me though. That friend was always nice to me, and that mom was always nice to me. So that's a rare one. Also, if your family had a fucking minivan with like the little TV on the back of the headrest or whatever, you were living like the Kardashians, I swear to God. Like I always wanted a minivan. I always thought they were so fucking cool. Never got a minivan. I think we had a minivan at one point in our life, but I don't fucking remember that shit. But if you had a minivan and it would slide, and like there'd be 2 seats in the middle and then 3 in the back and then 2 in the front, and in the back of the ones you would have a fucking TV. You were so cool. I saw one time at the dealership because we were looking for a new car one day. We didn't end up getting one, but we were looking, and me and my sister saw this cool like hippie van, and it was like beat the fuck down, but it had TVs in the headrest, so we were like, Mom, please. She did not get it for us. Also, if you had a trampoline or a pool in your backyard, you were just the coolest bitch. You were rich and cool, and I hated you probably. No, just kidding. And I wanted to envy you, and I wanted to steal your things. No, because every time, mostly for me though, I was a trampoline girl until I got boobs. But yeah, no, I didn't like swimming. Water scared me. Water still scares me. So give me a trampoline. Trampoline and a sports bra. And when I was in middle school, I was always so jealous of the girls who got to get like actual Converse, actual Uggs. The only name brand shoe I got to have was like Vans, which one, still pretty expensive. So I'm like, thank you, Lord. Praise the heavens above for letting me have Vans. But like, I don't know, I want a Converse. But still, I was happy with my Vans. But that wasn't until like middle high school. But like in elementary school, I pay less. Girl, you would never catch me at a fucking name brand store because I would be inside pay less. That's where I would get my shoes. I remember wanting Uggs so bad one year. My mom got me these janky ass, ugly ass knockoff Uggs, but I loved them and I ate them down boots, okay? I was also so jealous of the bitches with laptops. The only computer we had up until my freshman or sophomore year, the first one we had was thick and juicy and junky or whatever, and it was old. But, you know, I loved that thing. I always loved computers, so I was like so happy when I finally got my first laptop my sophomore year. You know, fun fact, me and my sister, we are directioners. We love 1D, but we begged our mom to get us laptops. We both got our own laptops just so we could watch 1D Day, that live stream that was like live for 12 hours of One Direction. Begged her to get it for us, and she did. I am gonna go though, so I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys have anything I didn't mention that you thought were luxuries and now as an adult you're like, well, leave that in the comments below. I would love to know. But I am gonna go, so thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Mwah!